I'm from 2MC Crew. I was born and raised here in the San Fernando Valley. I've been doing graffiti since pretty much, I don't know, around, I'd say 11 or 12. Like, I started really getting like an eye for it from like, my older friends in my neighborhood. I was like one of the younger kids. Everyone in my neighborhood skateboarded, and then they all got into it in probably junior high school, and they're all a couple years older than me. So I'd say around, yeah, like, fourth, fifth grade, I was just, I remember falling in love with it. It was just intriguing to me. Just like went on a field trip to a natural history museum in downtown LA, down there by USC, and I just remember seeing this oiler up everywhere. Oiler, I'll never forget it because I was just like, wow. Because I remember seeing the guys in my neighborhood do it, and I was like, it's not the same. It's like this guy's on a whole nother level. I was just intrigued. So I've always done it. There's times in my life where I had to take breaks. I had some bad injuries. I started a business where I owned a couple bars, and I was getting a liquor license, so it's like I had to stay out of trouble there. And then marriage, kids, divorce, just But it's always been a part of me. I might have taken breaks from painting at times in my life, but I've always was, you know, tagging, just like, scribes, markers, whatever. Just, I don't know. It's just something I always, wherever I go, wherever I travel to, it's just very appealing to me. Like, I just will always look for it, whether it's like graffiti art, like taggers doing it, or like if I'm in like in certain neighborhoods, like I'll look for the gang, like the gang writing. Like, obviously I can distinguish the difference between the two, but it like lets me know what, like if it's active or something. Like in some hoods you go to and you start seeing a bunch of different gangs crossing each other out, then like, hey, you know what, this is a hot spot. It's an active area. And if you go somewhere and you don't see any gang area or no graffiti, then hey, this is a nice area where they're gonna, it's just, I don't know. I just read my environment very well based upon graffiti, because that's something I've always loved and I've always been passionate about.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah.
What should people like think of when they see your tech?
My take, it's nothing special. It's just like you're gonna see it probably a lot because like like there's different people that do different, like, I don't know, everyone does their own thing. I was always a vandal. I just love to fucking tag on shit, and it's like I just wrote on it. Like, I always had the philosophy like everything can get it, just because like I've always thought the more, I don't know what's gonna get buffed, so like I'll just write on everything. Like, this might get cleaned off, this might not be. Someone might come from this way and they might not see it over here. I described it like, I have a couple friends that, like, if we went somewhere and we each had like 4 cans, I have like most of my friends, like, they might use all 4 of those cans on like one big pretty bomb. To me, that's not gonna happen because I don't know how long that's gonna last. Like, someone might come and buff that, right? So I'm gonna take my 4 cans and I'm gonna go around a couple blocks. I'm gonna really probably write on every wall, curb, box, pole, and just leave my mark because I don't know if a car's coming from this way
Okay.
and they want to see it, or if a car's coming from this way, they'll see it, or if this gets cleaned off, this will still be here, or this will be
So
here.
what's the thought process like to
Usually
doing
not
a
much.
proper or like sophisticated
Well,
tag?
I was never really like that great of an artist, to be honest. Like, my best friend was always like really talented. I just, like, that wasn't like, everyone does their different thing. Like, when I was young, I was never really never artistically influenced by, like, my parents or like anyone. Like, I just never really was good. I could not draw well or anything. I never really tried it. I was always playing sports, riding my skateboard, but tagging is just easy. But later in life, yeah, it's like mellowed out and it just became therapeutic.
Hmm.
I like to sit down and draw sometimes, but you always say it's never too late. But yeah, it's just, there's people out there, like I said, they'll sit there and do that, a massive piece with using lots of colors and all that stuff, and you know. And then there's people like, you know, good old Triggs, rest in peace. I would just give him a silver and black can, and he's just gonna go do a big bomb somewhere. You know, it's just like everyone has their own different style and what they like. You know, so
And can you explain the what was the term? The term before. I want to
oh, a
like
toy.
yeah. Please
Um,
define that.
I mean that's just basically like somebody that so that you have like style that's a toy. Like if they can't really like ride, if it looks really bad or whatever. Or there's like toy behaviors, like where they don't like respect the yard. Like if you go to a train yard and they leave their cans everywhere, or they fucking ride on like the engine of the train engine because the people at like the train yards really don't they frown upon that. So there's just like different like etiquette kind of things, but it's really a toy is just someone that just fucking is just usually a beginner. They don't really know all the you know the etiquette of it, and they just don't know the styles yet. They haven't practiced enough because all it takes is practice. But now it's crazy because like when I was young, we didn't have no now there's 100 books that'll teach you how to do letters. There's YouTube.
Yeah.
There's so many YouTube channels that give you
Please
demonstrate.
elaborate on that too.
Yeah, it's crazy because it's like now it's like there's so much stuff. It's like the whole graffiti thing has become very trendy. I don't know, very more like accepted. Like back in the day, it was like more of a slap in the face. It was like more outlaw. Like now it's like I mean, you go on YouTube. There's 100 different things that'll teach you how to do like the proper 3D, the proper
Yeah.
drop
You know,
shadow.
I've seen some pictures on Pinterest.
Yeah, Pinterest. Yeah,
As
yeah,
a girl,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I you can actually go on there and they'll show you. That's how I actually saw and how I looked up how to do graffiti art.
yeah. And it
Um,
is. I'm telling you, those videos are very good. They teach you. And like, I still am going. I should. I mean, I just. It was never like to me. It's just. I just go out there and I don't really think about it that much. But I mean, now, yeah. I mean, there's people. The people pick it up so quick, and it's
hmm,
like it's trendy almost. It's so watered down. Like I look at it like this generation is given something that my generation had to take. You know, like it was different. You know, like it was crazy. Like we went through. I don't know. It's just to describe it is so weird. Just because now I see like hipsters and like yuppies starting to write at like age 30 and 40. It's just because now there's so many like, also street artists are making millions and millions of dollars on it.
yeah.
So people are like, hey, I can do that. Like you have that movie,
So
like with the
yeah.
Banksy movie, Exit Through the Thing. So you see like this guy's like, oh wow, he started all late, and it's a gimmick. You know, like people. There's so many people out there that are just trying to capitalize on it. You
Hmm.
know.
So how do you determine who is genuine and who isn't?
Um, Usually by I mean, if I don't know them, like I would what crew they're from is a good thing because a lot of crews like the crews that like I would respect. They usually do background on the check on that kind of stuff. So like that would be genuine or style. I don't know. Like I mean, if depends on what they're doing too. Like there's a lot of gimmicky people out there just putting out these like character like like just weird shit that's like trying to sell other stuff. They're doing it to try to like build a brand so they can make money off of it. Where like I never did that to make money. I never did graffiti. I never even thought I would. Like that was never a thought process in my mind. You know,
How, and I want to know more about like why is that gimmicky? Like why is hmm.
why is it
Like
gimmick?
if I was able to make graffiti art and I have no money,
No, there's a lot of really like real graffiti artists that
okay,
are making a lot of money, and I'm happy for them for like that. But then those are like people that did it off of like sweat and blood.
okay,
They put the time in on the street, this and that, and they're also they did like real graffiti. Where now it's like there's so many like people like that are like street artists that are like I don't know. If to me it's just they only are doing it because to make the money, whereas like the other people had did it before, but now they're making money off of it. So those people, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, get that money. I don't really like to drop names in crews like that. So, but like there are people. I mean, like whoever sees it, like they'll know who I'm talking about. fucking a lot of writers now that are like making a lot of buku money, and I got nothing but love for that. But those people also have been like shot at and stabbed. They've been in the street, in the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where now, like, it seems like I've seen a lot of people like out there that haven't. They just like came into this like. If to me, it's like it's weird. Like I always, there's like if you just started writing like and you're like in your 30s or 40s, that's strange to me. Like that's like it's like someone that's getting in a gang at 30 or 40 because it's like to me it's like if you're getting a gang after like 25, it's like I don't know. Like the only reason I like most people get in a gang is like if you either like grew up in that neighborhood or your family's from there or something. Like I just it's strange to me. Like I don't know. Like that's like something you grew up with. Like your aunts, your uncles are from their hood, or you grew up
Yeah.
in that neighborhood. You went to school with these people, you're in your neighborhood.
Yeah.
But to be like all of a sudden like a 25, 30-year old and be like, oh, I want to just become a gangster. It just seems like you should be at like gangsters are like at that age
Is
are
there an
usually trying to.
appropriate age to start tagging?
No, but like there's different for everyone. Like I like I probably I just would say like like if you're doing it like probably 17 and under is when you should start if you're going to start, because like you want to do it before you're 18 because after if you get caught when you're 18 you're going to county if you get caught a couple times. I don't know, I try to get like I always thought like yeah like like most people start in junior high, high school,
Yeah.
high school, junior high, high school. I mean, and it's like most of them are like you either grow out of it. I don't know. I heard someone told me one time like those people that do that, like usually like it's like 2 or 3 years, and it's like you either are gonna do it the rest. If you last longer than 2 or 3 years, then you're gonna do it for like your life. Or if you just do it for 2 or 3 years, then it's just a phase. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, one of
What
my
is
friends.
your? I want no. Continue.
No, I was just saying one of my friends told me. I don't know the exact year, but it's just to me it's just yeah. Like I mean, like that's what most people.
Someone in your group has like decided to start tagging
Mhm.
an older, they're older, 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
So when they told you that, what was your initial reaction towards that? And I guess what's like interesting about tagging and why should it start at like 17? I guess I
I.
know a couple of organizations that do that. Like
Uh,
they it's an after school program now.
well,
You know what I mean? Like
that's what I'm saying. It's
it's a
so crazy.
nonprofit. Like that's
They,
why I'm trying to
yeah,
like tie those things
yeah.
into.
I've seen.
Sorry,
No, no, it's
but
cool.
like
No, there's graffiti schools now, like class. Yeah, it's crazy.
absolutely
Yeah,
with like and those kids. It's here in the valley actually.
yeah,
So I went to one of their events recently. They had a whole museum of that.
yeah.
So yeah, I guess why is that weird? I love saying weird, but
But
that's the only
how?
way.
But they were kids though.
They are kids.
See, that's like when like most people start. Like that's what I'm saying. So like a 30 or 40 year old just starting to tag, it's like this is like when you should be like trying to like have a house and family. I don't know. It's weird. Like I don't know. Like as a kid, you do stupid rebellious shit. Like that's what me. I used to skate around and write on shit. I was stupid, but like I should have grown out of it, but I just haven't. But that's why. But I did it my whole life, and it's a part of me. But to not have that a part of you, and then all of a sudden at like 30 or 40, it's kind of like a midlife crisis thing, or like maybe you're just trying to like get in on something that you think is like cool and trendy now, and like you see that they're not really enforcing the laws as much as they used to. Because back in the '90s, your house would get raided, and like there was crazy ass investigation. There was Fox Undercover News, and now it's like, oh, you know what? A lot of people are just getting slapped on the wrist or like getting passed on now. So they're like, hey, if they're not, that's what I meant by like this generation is given something that we had to take because it was a lot riskier than like even in the '90s, like for there was a time where like tigers had green light on us. Like a lot of tigers had green lights. So like I remember seeing like real crews getting turned into cliques of gangs. It's like you either like become part of the hood or stop that shit. Because if you go to jail and you're a tiger, you're gonna get fucked up. You know, it's just different. It's a different era. I don't really how else to describe that, but yeah, but like like I don't know why else you would do that like at 30 or 40. Like I don't know, because I remember like when I was like in my 30s, like I would meet a girl, I would be like kind of embarrassed to be like, yeah, oh yeah, like when they find out, like, oh yeah, I still write on walls with my friends. Like, what do you like to do for fun? Like, oh, it's like I'd want to go out and write on walls with my friends. I don't know, as a woman, like if you met some guy and like you find out like he's like 35, you're like, I don't know. Is that like a turn off for you? I don't know. But now it's like,
if I knew that they had another job.
yeah, if you
If
know,
had
but it's
another
not it's
job.
not a job. What's funny you say about the job is like I was paying, and this lady, she was an older lady. She's like, do you get paid for that? And I said, nah, it's the opposite of that. Like it costs me money, it costs me my time, and if I
Yeah.
fall, I can go to jail or better
Yeah.
worse. I have been shot at painting, tagging throughout my life. Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy. So,
Can
but
you please talk about that experience or no?
I don't know. I was just in a
Okay.
wrong because basically I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was in a hood. I was writing on something. I was younger.
Okay.
Like I was right now. Like I was writing in a hot spot. Like a gang territory, but and they just weren't happy about that having
Okay.
people vandalize their neighborhood, which is understandable.
I guess that comes with the fact that you've done it since
Yeah, I've done it a long
before.
time. Yeah, so you learn.
We've been talking for about 16 minutes.
Okay, that's it.
My arms hurt. So
All
okay.
right.
I'm